Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Siboga TV, which is the home of politics. And because of public demand, my viewers have actually requested me to have a critical analysis about who should be the presidential aspirant who will face William Samoei Arap Ruto let come 2027 between Rigathi Gashawa, Fred Okengo Matiangi, and Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. So today I will actually come up with a critical analysis about those three leaders, and I will look at each of them into ranks. And then I will give you my own opinion between those three key leaders in the opposition side, who I think that he should be the presidential aspirant and to face William Samoei Arap Ruto let come 2027 presidential election. So if you are interested to know who is the best candidate, please stay put, because we will do what is supposed to be done and we will do the best to give the best analysis about all that. But before I dive into that conversation, I could request you kindly to take a minute and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, hit the notification bell. And for those ones who have actually subscribed to our YouTube channel, I say thank you, because you always give us the inspiration to continue coming up with this kind of political analysis. Without delay, let me now dive into the topic. You know that in the opposition side, the leader who Kenyans are looking up to is Rigathi Gashawa, Fred Okengo Matiangi, and Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Most Kenyans hope that one of those leaders is actually going to be the one who is going to face William Samoei Arap Ruto let come 2027. But what the Kenyans are asking is that who among those three political leaders is best suited, who can take down William Samoei Arap Ruto in round one? Let me start this critical analysis by looking at Rigathi Gashawa. If you look at Rigathi Gashawa has been the deputy president of this republic until when he was impeached. Rigathi Gashawa is a very aggressive politician. Is actually a man who can stand face to face to William Samoei Arap Ruto and tell William Samoei Arap Ruto that enough is enough. And Rigathi Gashawa has actually become one of the biggest political leaders who influence Mount Kenya in general. That means he influenced the Kikuyu nation, the Luya nation, the Meru nation, the Embu nation. And currently, he is actually viewed as the kingpin of Mount Kenya in general and its diaspora. That means Laikipia and Nakuru. And that is the man Rigathi Gashawa is very aggressive in politics. So, if Rigathi Gashawa will actually be chosen to lead the opposition side, what is expected to happen? Number one, Rigathi Gashawa, many Kenyans perceive him as a tribal person, as a person who looks into the vision of Mount Kenya as a region and not to the entire Kenya as a republic. And because Rigathi Gashawa is very oppressive and aggressive in his politics, he has attracted very many people who follow him and majorly from the mountain. And at the same time, many people have come up and they are against him in totality. And therefore, if we will be the preparer of the opposition, then there is a very high possibility that people will actually go back and vote for William Samoei Arap Ruto, because many people who perceive him as a tribal leader, they cannot vote for him. Secondly, many people actually feel that replacing William Samoei Arap Ruto with Rigathi Gashawa is actually committing suicide. They feel that William Samoei Arap Ruto is better than Rigathi Gashawa. But Rigathi Gashawa has that huge following from Mount Kenya. And this, we must give it to Rigathi Gashawa. But when it comes to the entire nation, many people perceive him as a tribal person. Many people perceive him as a person who will only focus on the interest of Mount Kenya. And at the same time, they feel that Rigathi Gashawa can be more dictatorial than William Samoei Arap Ruto. Let us come to Fred Okengo Matiangi. Fred Okengo Matiangi actually worked as a super CS during the time of Uhuru era, when William Samoei Arap Ruto was the deputy president of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And Fred Okengo Matiangi is actually being seen as a technocrat, as a performer, as a person who has shown it that he can perform, he can do excellent work. And that is why when he was the super CS, he was able to overlook or to be like a supervisor of all the ministries. He was actually like the eye of President William Samoei Arap Ruto, and that is why he could chair the mini executives. And when he was the Ministry of Education, he performed. When he was in the Ministry of Communication and Digital, he also performed. And when he was in Interior, he also performed. So people see Fred Okengo Matiangi as a technocrat, as a manager, as a person who can make this Kenya to come up in a very good way. But Fred Okengo Matiangi comes from a very small community. It doesn't come from the bigger top 3 communities in Kenya. So that actually becomes an hindrance to his stepping at presidency. But if we look at the grassroots, we can say that Fred Okengo Matiangi is actually being seen as by many Kenyans as a person who actually can be voted from most corners of the Republic of Kenya. And people see Fred Okengo Matiangi as a person who gives hope to the people of this nation. And because of all that, many people say that if Fred Okengo Matiangi can be the presidential aspirant and actually get support from Rigathi Gashawa and from Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, then he is likely to be the person who can actually unseat President William Samoei Arap Ruto. Now, let us also look at the person we call Kalonzo Musyoka. Kalonzo Musyoka has actually worked as the vice president during the Kibaki era, and he is being perceived as a gentleman, as a person who is very simple. But many Kenyans also perceive Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka as a coward in nature, and that is why they sometimes call him watermelon, as a person who cannot be trusted by the Kenyans. And because of those character traits, that is why they say that this man called Kalonzo Musyoka, many Kenyans cannot actually vote for him because they perceive him as a watermelon. But if you look from the side of Ukampani, this is the person who the Kamba Nation say that he is their leader, and he has always stood with the Kamba Nation for quite a very long time. He is their kingpin. And that is why of late, when it comes from the side of Kambani, the people from the Kamba Nation, they always say that this is the time for Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to step at presidency. And also they say that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka has always been the person who has always shelved his political ambition for others. And because of that, this time, other political leaders must also shelve their political ambition within the opposition side so that they can give Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka a push so that he can step at presidency. But the question is, who among these three is the best suited to step at presidency? The best suited person, on my own view, is Fred Okengo Matiangi. Why am I saying that Fred Okengo Matiangi is the best suited to lead this nation or to be the presidential candidate from the side of opposition? One, Fred Okengo Matiangi can actually act as a unifying factor in the opposition side. Because if Fred Okengo Matiangi will be the presidential candidate of the opposition side, then many Kenyans actually are going to vote for Fred Okengo Matiangi. For example, from Nyanza, you will find that many people will vote for Fred Okengo Matiangi. From also the Mount Kenya region, they will also vote for Fred Okengo Matiangi. Because traditionally, you will find that the people from Mount Kenya, they always fought with the people from Nyanza and who are the Gusii nation. And that is why in any leadership where the person from Mount Kenya has always stepped at presidency, he has always been getting votes from the Gusii nation. And therefore, it is very easy for Fred Okengo Matiangi to get the votes from Central. And at the same time, we have political leaders who are actually forwarding that Fred Okengo Matiangi should step at presidency. And those political leaders are from Mount Kenya, and they are willing to use even their finances to help Fred Okengo Matiangi to step at presidency. At the same time, Fred Okengo Matiangi can also get the votes from the coastal region, because Fred Okengo Matiangi has some magic in him, because from the time he entered into the political arena of presidency. And if you have been doing various opinion polls, you have gotten that Fred Okengo Matiangi always becomes number one from those opinion polls. And that shows that Fred Okengo Matiangi is so much liked from most parts of the Republic of Kenya. And also, if you look at these three leaders, look at Rigathi Gashawa, look at Fred Okengo Matiangi himself, and also look at Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Kenyans see Fred Okengo Matiangi as a no-nonsense person, as a person who can actually deliver and who always means what he promises to the people of Kenya, other than the person we call Rigathi Gashawa and also the person we call Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And that is why, in my opinion, and this is actually my opinion, it's a personal opinion, I can be wrong or I might be right. It's my personal opinion. That's why I feel that Fred Okengo Matiangi, if he will be the presidential aspirant from the side of opposition and he gets the support from Rigathi Gashawa, he gets the support from Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, then President William Samoei Arap Ruto is actually in great danger of actually being made to be a one-term president. And that is why of late, probably President William Samoei Arap Ruto doesn't want probably Fred Okengo Matiangi to be the candidate from the side of what? The side of opposition. Because let us put things down. Let's say Rigathi Gashawa has become the presidential candidate. People will say, is it only people of Mount Kenya who can always be reading this nation? And that is going to make people to repel and probably to vote for William Samoei Ruto. People may say, now let us vote for William Samoei Ruto to finish 2 terms. Because the people of Mount Kenya have always been reading this nation. Because we had President, the late Kenyatta, the late Mwai Kibaki, the former Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. All those people comes from Mount Kenya. And because only of that, and Rigathi Gashawa comes up, there is a very high likelihood that now the people who wanted to see William Samoei Arap Ruto taken home may opt and say, let us now vote for William Samoei Arap Ruto. It is going to be very easy to happen like so. And that is why sometimes you have had people say that 40 versus 1. Where does that come from? It's because other people feel that people from the mountain have actually read enough this nation. So they feel that they should give other people a chance also to step at presidency. And that is why if you look across Rigathi, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, you can say that Fred Okengo Matiangi is the best choice for the what? For the side of opposition. If actually they want to take presidency of this nation. And if I was also to come the most likely person, the most person who should go for presidency or should be the presidential candidate is Fred Okengo Matiangi. And also, if I am asked, let's say Fred Okengo Matiangi is not there, then I'm very sure that now that is the time Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka can come in and step at the presidency from the side of opposition. And if Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is not there, that is when we will come to Rigathi, Gashawa. So the best person is Fred Okengo Matiangi, followed by Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, and then followed by Rigathi Gashawa. What is your say about all that? Who do you believe is the best suited person to lead opposition? Also, to unseat President William Samoei Arap Ruto late come 2027. Please drop your comment in the comment section below. And if this is your first time to pump into this YouTube channel, I request you kindly to take a minute and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, share the video to your friends, and also hit the notification bell so that you can be notified to watch any political content that we upload into YouTube. And for those ones who have actually subscribed to our YouTube channel and they always keep watching our videos, I say thank you and may God bless you. And with that I say adios until we meet in our next political discussion.